Good morning everybody and welcome you all once again. We are having revision of the chapter What is Democracy? Why Democracy? In this video we will proceed from one of the very important question of this chapter. It is why Pakistan under General Parvez Musharraf cannot be called democracy. So we know one thing, General Parvez Musharraf was Army General of Pakistan in 1999, and when he was Army General of Pakistan, he led a military coup. So you should know what do you mean by military coup or simply coup. So coup is a French word. Literally it means blow against the government, blow or strike against the government. When an existing government is being overthrown by military or political factions or a dictator by force, then it is called coup. When this overthrow of the existing government is being done by military, then it is called military coup. So you could define it this way: a coup or coup d'etat is the removal of an existing government from power through illegal measures, through coercive measures by force. Typically it is an illegal unconstitutional seizure of power by a political faction, the military or dictator. So if you will have to define coup, simply you could write overthrow of an existing government by force is called coup. Overthrow of an existing government by force is called coup, and overthrow of an existing government by force by military is called military coup. So similar military coup occurred in Pakistan. It is not a new thing. Actually, none of the democratically elected government in Pakistan had completed the term of 5 years till now. It is history of Pakistan, and if you will go through the history of Pakistan, always when a military coup occurred, the head of the previous government either is being assassinated or killed or exiled. So similarly, a military coup occurred in 1999, and this military coup was headed by Army General Parvez Musharraf. So the history of this military coup begins from the Kargil war, when some post in Kargil was vacated by Indian soldiers. Then the Pakistani army in disguise captured over those posts that is being vacated by Indian soldiers. When Indian army came to know about this fact, then a joint operation was launched by armed forces as well as air forces, and a valiant vigorous effort of Indian army resulted into a humiliating defeat of Pakistan. Worldwide humiliation occurred of Pakistan due to this, and a humiliating defeat also occurred. The operation that was launched by army was the code name of the operation launched by Indian army was Operation Vijay, and the code name that was launched by Indian Air Force. It is your homework question to find out that what was the code name of the operation that was launched by Indian Air Force in Kargil war. So after successful completion of this operation, on 26 July government officially announced about India's victory in the Kargil war, and that's why every 26 July we used to celebrate Kargil Vijay Divas. Although it was a tremendous victory of Indian soldiers over Pakistan, but in Pakistan a blaming game begins. The armed forces started blaming the government, opposition started blaming the government started blaming the armed forces for this debacle. Used to say that we are not aware about this planning by the military. Initially they also refused that it was a military operation of Pakistan. They used to say कि Talibani or some terrorist outfit has done that, but later on when large number of casualties occurred of Pakistani army, they will have to accept that it was deed of the Pakistani army. Although General Parvez Musharraf duration or post as army general, he was going to retire. And one history also is there of Pakistan, that whenever army general were going to retire, he pressurized the government to take some extension. So it is common history of Pakistan. Anyway, Parvez Musharraf was abroad and Nawaz Sharif announced his retirement. So when media channel started showing this news that the government has retired Parvez Musharraf, instantly phone come to the media officers from army officials who were well-wisher of Parvez Musharraf not to announce such news to people. And phone also come from Prime Minister's office that this news is to be spread. So you could understand a very interesting situation was there in Pakistan. PM office started pressurizing the news channel, media channel to explore this news, but the army officials phone not to spread this news. What would have been the condition of media head during that time? We could understand that कि किसकी बात माने. प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफिस से कोई और मैसेज आता है, उसके उल्टा आर्मी ऑफिशियल से कुछ और मैसेज आता है. तो एक्चुअली वी कुड अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट दे वुड हैव थॉट कि whom they have to obey. एनीवे अभी न्यूज़ का टाइम था, बट सारे चैनल्स पे म्यूज़िक, संगीत और ये सब बैकग्राउंड पे चल रहा है. तो पाकिस्तानी पीपल ऑल्सो वी आर कन्फ्यूज. तो एक्चुअली र्यूमर स्प्रेड कि भारत ने पाकिस्तान पे आक्रमण कर दिया है, बट लेटर ऑन परवेज मुशर्रफ ऑल्सो वॉज रिटर्निंग फ्रॉम एब्रॉड. तो एक्चुअली ये सारा इंसिडेंट 5 से 9 बजे के बीच तक ये सारा जो तख्ता पलट का षड्यंत्र था ये एग्जीक्यूट किया गया बिटवीन 5 to 9 o'clock. तो परवेज मुशर्रफ वॉज रिटर्निंग फ्रॉम एब्रॉड, बट नवाज शरीफ और प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफिस फोन द एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोल नॉट टू अलाउ दैट फ्लाइट टू लैंड इन कराची. तो फ्लाइट को कराची एयरपोर्ट पे लैंड करना था, बट ऑर्डर फ्रॉम प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफिस वाज दैट कि इस फ्लाइट को पाकिस्तान में लैंड करने नहीं देना है. एंड it was a critical situation for the pilot because the fuel was left only for 12 minutes during that time when they approach air traffic control and inform that they can't do anything. तो एक्चुअली बिफोर दैट जो रनवे है उस पर ट्रक्स ये सब ले आया गया था कि वो फ्लाइट वहाँ लैंड ना कर पाए. Although Parvez Musharraf talked to his well-wisher from the flight, and some armed brigade came to the Karachi airport and they took a hold, and on gunpoint the traffic control officials were compelled to allow that flight to land over Karachi. तो जो भी ट्रक वो सब रनवे पे था उसको हटाया गया, एंड जब वो when the flight land over Karachi airport, the fuel of only 6 minutes was left. 6 मिनट का, and 198 passenger was there on that flight. Although it was entrance of Parvez Musharraf, and after that some armed brigade who were with Parvez Musharraf, some were also with Nawaz Sharif, but they outnumbered. The very few of them were supporter of Nawaz Sharif, although Nawaz Sharif was locked in a room, and this military coup was executed, and officially it was announced that the government of Nawaz Sharif was dismissed, and claimed he overthrew a democratically elected government and declared himself as the chief executive of the country. So now Nawaz Sharif was chief executive of the country. शाम में 5 बजे के पहले आर्मी जनरल से भी उनको रिटायर कर दिया गया था, बट 8 साढ़े 8 बजते बजते ही बिकम द हेड ऑफ पाकिस्तान. और जो हेड ऑफ द पाकिस्तान थे, दैट मीन्स जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर, ही वाज लॉक्ड इन अ रूम. तो इट इज़ कॉमन हिस्ट्री, नथिंग न्यू वाज देयर. इफ यू विल रीड द हिस्ट्री ऑफ पाकिस्तान, you will came with contact with similar kind of or even harsh kind of events there with the government. So after that a case was filed over Nawaz Sharif. He was sentenced to life imprisonment for trying to take life of all those persons that was on board. Later on an agreement occurred between Nawaz Sharif and Pervez Musharraf that if he will let the country, then his sentence will be pardoned. He will be pardoned. So actually he left the country, later on again returned, and after that become Prime Minister. That is another story. So now after that later he changed his designation to President. So before that in 2002 referendum was being done, and in this referendum he got extension of 5 years as President of Pakistan. So it is also one of the important question, what is the referendum? So referendum is a general vote by the electorate on a single political question which has been referred to them either to accept or reject. So basically you should know what is difference between election. Election occurred to choose the government, to elect the government. Election occurred to elect the government, but here a proposal is being put forward to people to either accept or reject. So referendum, a referendum was there, and the question of the referendum was whether you'd like to Pervez Musharraf to continue for 5 years as President of Pakistan. So ultimately this referendum, result of this referendum initially was known, that what will be the result of this referendum. To define, you could write what is referendum: a general vote by the electorate on a single political question which has been referred to them either to accept or reject. So later on Pakistani media, human rights organization and democratic activists all said that referendum was based on malpractices and fraud. So that means it was known that much malpractices or schemes was there in that referendum. Actually people were not happy with that coup, and in anywhere in the world if such kind of overthrow of government, democratically elected government occurred, so people generally refuse to support. Although when he became President of Pakistan, initially he had done so many constitutional amendments and bring legal framework order. So this is also one of the important question. What do you know about legal framework order? So in August 2002 he issued legal framework order, and according to this order, apart from this several other constitutional amendment was done, but among all those constitutional amendment, the most important was the legal framework order. According to this legal framework order, the President empowered himself to dismiss the national and provincial legislature. So according to this order, the President can dismiss the national and provincial assemblies. The work of the civilian cabinet is supervised by a National Security Council. That means कि almost all major power was transferred from parliament to the president. तो इनिशियली पाकिस्तान का भी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन भारत की तरह मतलब ही था, जहाँ प्रेसिडेंट सेरेमोनियल हेड हुआ करते थे, बट इमेंस पावर was being transferred to President. That means President and the National Security Council of Pakistan was empowered to take all the decisions. So it is one of the important questions. What do you know about legal framework order? Now after passing this law, election were held for national and provincial assemblies. So Pakistan has had election, elected representative have some power, but the final power rests with military officers and General Musharraf himself, and none of them are elected by the people. That's why we could not say this a democratically elected government. Now if you will remind the definition, the simple definition of democracy, so in that definition we have said we need to analyze each and every word. Democracy is a government where the ruler are elected. Now let's see the condition of Pakistan. Elected leaders are there in Pakistan, but whether those elected leaders are the ruler? No. Rulers, who are the rulers? National Security Council of Pakistan. And in this National Security Council of Pakistan, army officials was there and Parvez Musharraf himself. So real ruler in Pakistan, National Security Council or the army officials, and the president himself is the real ruler, and none of them was elected. So even if we will emphasize upon that simple definition of democracy, we can't say Pakistan as democratic country under Parvez Musharraf. Similarly, the example of Pakistan lead us to derive first feature of democracy. So from this example, we get first feature of democracy, and it is in a democracy the final decision making power must rest with those elected by the people. लेकिन पाकिस्तान में ऐसा नहीं था. रूलर कौन थे? जो इलेक्टेड नहीं थे, और जो इलेक्टेड थे उनको रूल करने का कोई अधिकार नहीं था. So that means Pakistan could not be considered democracy under Parvez Musharraf. Now the tradition of Pakistan, whether it will continue, because Baweja also was completing his term. So actually he got 3-year extension by Imran Khan. So actually what will happen after that extension will complete? Rumor was there initially also that Baweja also is planning for a military coup against the government of Imran Khan. When Article 370 was removed by Indian government, so during that time rumor was there that Baweja is planning to overthrow this government. But later on Baweja managed to get 3-year extension. तो अभी तक तो ठीक है, चलो 3 ईयर इनका एक्सटेंशन जब पूरा होगा तो निश्चित तौर पे इनके लिए एक खतरा होंगे बावेजा. By the way, the second word in that simple definition where we will have to emphasize, it was election. What kind of election occurred and what kind of election could be considered as democratic election? And here we will emphasize upon China and Mexico. To understand what kind of elections should be there, we will read 2 examples, one of China and one is of Mexico. So first, China. For China also we know China is a single party system. China is a single party system. So in China, elections are regularly held after every 5 years for electing the country's parliament. Now here, what is the name of Parliament of China? So in Mandarin language, if you would like to memorize, you could, but not necessary. Huangguo, Ranmin, Daibio, Dahui. You will have to learn Mandarin to pronounce it correctly. By the way, ये याद रखोगे, National People's Congress. तो name of Parliament of different country you should know. कि भारत के पार्लियामेंट को जैसे संसद कहते हैं. द पार्लियामेंट ऑफ रसिया, यू हैव रेड, द पार्लियामेंट ऑफ रसिया इज कॉल्ड ड्यूमा. द पार्लियामेंट ऑफ ईरान इज कॉल्ड मजलिस. द पार्लियामेंट ऑफ नेपाल इज कॉल्ड जातीय संसद. पार्लियामेंट ऑफ डेनमार्क इज कॉल्ड फॉल्केटिंग. तो सिमिलरली पार्लियामेंट ऑफ डिफरेंट कंट्रीज इज नोन बाय डिफरेंट नेम. हियर इट इज नेशनल पीपल्स कांग्रेस. Parliament of China is termed as National People's Congress. Altogether 2,980 members are elected in 2018 for this parliament, and this is supreme body. This is supreme body that is responsible to elect Politburo or to elect president as well. Now, before contesting election in China, if any candidate want to contest election, they need approval of the Chinese Communist Party. A person could contest election only when he will get approval of Chinese Communist Party. Only those who are member of the Chinese Communist Party could contest election in China, and also they need approval of the National People's Congress. Whoever the previous member of National People's Congress is there, so they decide that who will contest election and who will not. So only those member who is a member of Chinese Communist Party could contest election. The government is always formed by Communist Party, so that is whoever the candidate will be there, he will be member of Communist Party. So it is obvious the government always will be formed by Communist Party. So China is a single party system. Any other ideological group is not allowed to form political party there. So it is not so that Chinese people never wanted to be governed by democratic form of government. एक बार protest हुआ था student के द्वारा चाइना में, तो during that time you could understand कि if the protester is there, maximum what we could do, चलो लाठी चार्ज किए, पानी के छींटे, आंसू गैस, but तोप चलाया गया protesters के ऊपर in China who were protesting, and those students who were protesting in favor of democracy. So we could understand what kind of government is there in China also. Now also in Syria, if you will read here, only one party, Al-Baath political party is allowed to contest election. This is also single party system. So election occurred in Syria also, but only the Al-Baath political party is allowed to contest election. This is also single party system. So such kind of election could not be considered as democratic election, and such country also could not be considered democratic just on the basis of कि an elected government is there. So Pakistan could not be considered democratic because elected person are not the ruler. The ruler are not elected there. China also could not be considered democracy. Why? Because it did not provide any meaningful choice to the people. If I don't like communist ideology, I want Democrats, so we don't have any option there, because Democrats will not be allowed to form their political party there. So Pakistan is not democracy because rulers are not elected. Election occurred but rulers are not elected. China could not be considered democracy because it is single party system and people did not have meaningful choice there in China. Now in Mexico, a different kind of example is there in Mexico. Here meaningful choice is there. Several political party contest election in Mexico. But so Mexico become independent in 1930. Hold election after every 6 years. ये भी याद रखोगे. चाइना में प्रत्येक 5 साल के बाद, and in Mexico after every 6 years election occurred. And the country also is never under a military rule or dictatorship or dictator rule. But until 2000, since from 1930, every election was owned by a party called Institutional Revolutionary Party. Now, the Institutional Revolutionary Party, full form is Institutional Revolutionary Party, but abbreviation is PRI. So actually, this abbreviation comes from the original name in Spanish. It is Partido Revolucionario Institucional. So, matlab in Spanish it is written like this. But in English you could say this is Institutional Revolutionary Party. So although Institutional Revolutionary Party, but abbreviation is PRI. तो from where this PRI comes, तो इसमें कंफ्यूज नहीं करोगे. PRI फुल फॉर्म PRI से नहीं ढूंढोगे. इट इज स्पेनिश वर्ड Partido Revolucionario Institucional. So in English it is said Institutional Revolutionary Party, and that's why abbreviation is PRI, but full form is Institutional Revolutionary Party. So since from independence this PRI rule over Mexico, a Mexican political party founded in 1929 that held uninterrupted power in the country for 71 years from 1930 to 2000. So a single political party rule for this much time period. Why is it so? It is so because whether it is government offices, whether it is school or colleges, whether it is constitutional institutions, whether it is media, all is under strict control of PRI. Teachers were forced to teach the student in favor of this ruling party. Government officials were misutilized during elections. Constitutional institutions always is being misutilized, like election commission. There is a strict control over media of the government or PRI party. They always were forced to criticize the opposition and glorify the ruling party. So money and muscle power also is being utilized in the election. So election also occurred in Mexico. People have meaningful choice also, but whether this election could be considered as democratic election, because there is no way the ruling party could be defeated. There is no way the ruling party could be defeated. So people have choice, but they did not have right to choose the government according to their own liking or disliking. So by this way, from this example of China and Mexico, we could understand that what kind of election should be there in democracy. In China, the election do not offer the people meaningful choice. In China, the election do not offer the meaningful choice to the people. They have to choose the ruling party and the candidate approved by it. They have to choose the ruling party and the candidate approved by it. But in the example of Mexico, people seem to really have a choice, but in practice they had no choice. There was no way the ruling party could be defeated even if people were against it. So from this example of China and Mexico, the second feature of democracy we could find, and it is a democracy must be based on a free and fair election where those currently in power have a fair chance of losing. So that means election occurred. This is not sufficient to be called democracy. What kind of election should be there? Election should be on the principle of one person, one vote, one value. Election should be occurred on the basis of universal adult suffrage, and most important, the election should occur in a free and fair manner. तो इलेक्शन तो होता है चाइना में भी, मैक्सिको में भी, सीरिया में भी, but such kind of election could not be considered democratic election, and on the basis of this kind of election we can't say any country as democracy. So that's why whether it is Pakistan, whether it is China, whether it is Mexico, whether it is Syria, there is some inherent defects in these countries that they did not fulfill even the basic or minimum requirement of democracy, and that's why all this country could not be considered democracy. So the same way we will proceed this chapter. Some more examples we will read to find out third, fourth and additional features of democracy. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.